Hello there, everybody. I'll just give everyone a couple minutes here to get signed in. While you're waiting, you can just take a moment to arrive in your space. Notice the cushion or chair beneath you. Take these couple minutes as we wait for people to arrive, really just to be here. Nothing else to do for the next half hour or so. You can take a moment to check in with your body. Maybe doing a quick scan from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Not trying to change anything that's going on, just noticing any sensations that are arising for you. And if you notice any tension as you just do a quick scan of your body, you can just invite some softness there. So you don't need to force the area to relax, but just think soft, invite softness and see what happens. Hey there, Doug. Great to see you. Hope things are good out on the island. If anyone has any questions that come up or comments as I'm giving the teaching or guiding the meditation afterwards, you can definitely pop them into the chat on the side there, and I will answer them before we finish for the night. So if you've just arrived, we're just going to give a couple more minutes just to see if anyone else comes to join us before we jump in. Oh, back in Kemptville now. Well, I hope things are good in Kemptville too. Probably not quite as beautiful as Prince Edward Island, although it has its charm. And as we wait for a couple more minutes, coming back again to the body, see if you can notice a sense of stillness in your body. Even if you're moving and adjusting, a sense of stillness that never actually goes away, even in movement. Just gently inquire, notice if it's there. And don't worry about it if you can't see it. We can take a moment now to turn to speech, both inner speech and outer speech. First, turning inwards, see if you can notice silence in the mind. Not stopping thinking, since it's not possible, but just noticing the silence between thoughts, around thoughts. Sometimes our heads can seem quite crowded, but there's always silence there. Just see if you can notice it. And turning outward, see if you can notice the silence that's always present, even if there's sound in your space right now. There's a silence that permeates everything. And finally, check out your mind and see if you can notice the space that's present in your mind. It's not a space that you need to create, just one that you need to notice. Notice if your mind feels like it's contained between your ears where our brain is, or see if it seems bigger. See if you can notice that space, where its boundary is. And as you notice that inner space, see if you can notice the actual space around you, literal space around your physical body. Maybe compare it to the space in your mind. Is there a difference? Great. Well, I'm so happy to see you all tonight. I hope that you're keeping well and healthy and somewhat sane in all this madness going on around us. Which brings me to what I wanted to kind of talk about and meditate on today. So, a couple of weeks ago, we worked with compassion, um, compassion meditation, where we worked with seeing other people and wishing them freedom from suffering. And the week before, we worked on loving kindness, which is seeing ourselves and other people and wishing them happiness. So these are different states of mind that all fall under something called the Brahma Viharas, the four boundless states of mind or qualities of mind, which are love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. So love is seeing other people and ourselves and seeing in them the same wish as us to be happy, to have happiness. And then as we meditate and we go through the guided meditation, we see these people and we wish happiness for them, starting with people close to us and ourselves, and then moving out to neutral people, to people we have difficulties with, and then all beings. And then you move from love and loving kindness to compassion, which is like the flip side of the coin, moving from wishing happiness to noticing that just like us, everyone has a desire to be free from suffering, and how wonderful it would be if they could be free from suffering, if we could be free from suffering. So with compassion meditation, we turn the coin over and we look at ourselves, at the people around us, and then moving out further and further and recognize in them a wish to be free from suffering, and then we wish that for them. And then there's sympathetic joy, which we won't cover tonight, but we will come back to at some point. Sympathetic joy is basically seeing happiness that's already present in ourselves, in others, and wishing for it to increase, to become greater and bigger, and then trying to find happiness in those people's happiness. And then the final Brahma Vihara, which kind of ties it all together, is equanimity. So equanimity is a state of mind where we aren't pulled and pushed around by all the stuff that happens around us, external things and internal things. So it's kind of an even-keeledness. So no matter what thoughts occur, emotions occur, events happen in our lives, equanimity is an ability to kind of stay steady on the boat in the stream of life instead of getting pushed around by different waves. Another analogy that Mingyur Rinpoche uses is that life is like a stock market. We go up and down to our worst possible moments to our best possible moments, up and down. And we live in those moments and we kind of miss this whole period of life in between where there's nothing extraordinarily good or bad happening, but that's kind of life. So generally we don't live in that spot. We live in the highs and lows, which is painful because we go really high up and it's great, and then it ends and that's not great. And then we plummet down, we have terrible experiences we don't want, and then suddenly we jump right back up again. So equanimity is the ability to live in that middle area. And it makes our highs, well, I wouldn't say it makes them less high, but maybe we don't get so attached to them. So we can enjoy those moments for what they are, without the pain of grasping onto them and losing them, because all things are impermanent, all things end. And on the flip side, when we suffer, when bad things are happening, the suffering doesn't necessarily go away, but by not pushing away at it and grasping for other things, we don't suffer as much. And in both cases, that up and down, when we're living in that middle area, is not so far to go. We're not going from the very bottom to the very top and then all the way down again. Instead, we're in this middle area and we go up and we go down, we go up and we go down. So that's kind of what equanimity is. But how do we cultivate equanimity? The most important thing, first of all, is that we're taking a different stance than usual towards everything that happens, all phenomena, things outside of us and inside of us. So instead of grabbing the things we want and pushing away the things we don't want, we just observe them. So when that happens, we still experience pain, we still experience joy and happiness and love and all of those great things too, but without that extra grab or push. And we can cultivate this through meditation, through all the meditations we do here, mindfulness meditations where we focus on a single object, help us to calm down, to see things more clearly, and kind of put us in this observer role, or in psychology, they call it metacognition. So instead of kind of being inside of our thoughts and emotions and unaware, we're kind of stepping outside of them and just witnessing them as they happen. Now, another pathway into this, and the meditation we'll be doing tonight, is touching base with our awareness itself, with the mind that knows. And I can't overstate how powerful this is. And when I first came to this path, I really didn't get it. So awareness, the knowing mind, the mind that just knows, the mind that is looking at the screen right now, before concepts come in, before stories come in, just that bare knowing that you're seeing my face, the light, your computer or your phone. Same with sound, just knowing there is sound present before we conceptualize sound. So this knowing quality of mind, when I first heard about it, and a lot of teachers in the Vajrayana tradition, this is kind of what we talk about, it seemed a little overrated to me because I thought, well, now I know that I'm anxious. Great. What did that get me, right? It didn't get me anything. But with open awareness meditation and really all the practices where we connect with awareness, that quality of mind, as it becomes more familiar, as we're able to rest into the knowing mind, that is a place of equanimity. Because the knowing mind isn't affected by things that happen. It simply knows. It knows the good, it knows the bad, it knows the in-between. It just knows. That's it. It's really simple. It's not like a big, high, special state of mind. Very relaxed, very restful. And the more we can become familiar with that state of mind, the less we'll be grabbed and pulled by everything that happens around us. We'll have a safe place to anchor ourselves. So with equanimity, there is kind of the traditional, more Theravadan style meditation, which is like what we do with loving kindness and compassion, where we visualize different people and we repeat certain phrases to cultivate the mind state. And then this approach is kind of different, but instead of meditating on equanimity, we are cultivating the state of mind that will give us equanimity. So we don't need to kind of take a wish path with it and wish for equanimity for ourselves and others. We can actually experience it through meditation. So that's a little bit about equanimity. If you have any questions or comments, you can pop them into the chat box. We'll start meditating in a moment. And if you have any questions afterwards, you can also pop them in and I will answer them at that time. So as we get started, just take a moment to really take your seat. For your back, try to keep it as straight as you can for your own body. So we don't want to be so tense that our back is sore or all we can think about is our sore muscles, sore spine, but we don't want to be slouched over either because that really affects your state of mind. So however straight you can be for your body. For this meditation, I recommend meditating with the eyes open. If possible, it can be jarring at first if you're not used to it, but because we're going to try to work in total open awareness, sight is included in that. So see if you can keep your eyes open, but feel free to close them if that works better for you. And as we get started, we can set a motivation or intention for our practice tonight. The very classical or traditional motivation is something called bodhicitta, which means awakened mind. And bodhicitta is this aspiration that will wake up or realize our true nature in order to benefit all beings. So they made to recognize themselves. You can also set a very simple intention like, may I understand what the knowing mind is. May I be calm. May I be peaceful. Take a moment to set that motivation. And then let it go. Now gently bring your attention to your hands, noticing the palms of your hands, your knuckles, the tops of your hands. Noticing each finger and thumb. Take a moment to notice your feet now. Noticing the top of each foot. Whatever sensations arise, warmth, tingling, even a lack of sensation. Noticing the soles of the feet, the arch of the foot. Taking a moment to check in with each toe. So our hands and our feet will kind of be an anchor for this practice. So if at any point during the open awareness you just feel your mind's too busy, too much going on, not calm, then you can come back to the hands and the feet, kind of an anchor or safe place. But let's spend about another minute here, coming back to the hands and just noticing sensation. Whenever any distractions arise, thoughts, emotions, memories, stories, don't worry about those. We don't have to push them away. We don't need to grab onto them. We can just leave them as they are and gently bring our attention back to our hands. Notice how much effort you're applying as you bring your attention to your hands. You actually don't need very much, just a little bit of energy to keep your awareness, your mind on the sensations in your hands. Now drop all effort. Don't focus on your hands. Don't focus on your feet. Really see how much you can just let your mind be as it is. See how much you can relax into your seat. Really rest, relax. As if you've just done a long, hard day of work. Dinner's done, dishes are cleaned, and you just flop down on the couch. Before you reach for the remote or anything else, that moment of just resting. Nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just relax. Your mind may be busy and full of thoughts, and that's okay. Just let it be as it is. Your mind may be completely clear and calm, and that's okay too. Just let it be that way. As you said, different thoughts may distract you, emotions, stories, external things happening around you. Every one of these things is just like a cloud that appears in the vast sky of your mind. Mind is open, vast, and is actually completely unchanged by the things that occur within it. So just as clouds appear in the sky, they aren't the sky, and they don't change the nature of the sky. So as you sit in this relaxation and rest, see how much you can notice the sky. We spend most of our lives chasing after phenomena, both inner phenomena and outer phenomena. So right now, see how much you can not chase those things, not follow them, and really just be. You actually don't have to control your experience at all. See how natural you can be right now. Meaning we don't have to fabricate any sort of kind of special experience or state of mind. We don't need to add anything. We don't need to take anything away. You and your mind, as you are right now, are perfectly complete. See how much you can trust that. Just be totally natural. Even drop the idea of meditating. Just sit. And when this totally natural, non-fabricated state of mind gets caught in a story or emotion or memory, as it will, which is totally normal, see how much you can come back to that sky-like mind. Big, open, spacious. Returning to that spaciousness and then just resting into it, relaxing, completely letting go. Letting go of thoughts of the past. Letting go of our fears and hopes for the future. Letting go even of the idea of the present moment. Not analyzing our experience, not even meditating. Just being as you are, relaxed and restful. This can be your home base, your place of equanimity. Totally natural, restful, just being. And as we come to the end of our practice tonight, we can take a moment to dedicate the merit, which brings us back to the Brahma Viharas and wishing happiness for all beings, freedom from suffering for all beings. So when we dedicate the merit, we wish that all benefit that we received from this practice tonight be shared with all beings, all who need it. May whatever benefit we receive through this practice be shared with all beings. So as we wind down for tonight, I'll give you some practice suggestions for the week ahead. If you have any questions, comments, anything that's come up during the teaching or the meditation, feel free to ask it now. So for your formal practice meaning when you actually sit down to meditate, as always, I would start with short times, many times. So try to get to your chair or cushion once a day. If that can only be 5 minutes, that's great. If it can be 15, 20 minutes, that's great too. But as much as possible, try to get it in every day, even if it's just a short time, because having that daily practice will make it a routine for you and will also help you build momentum. So when we do these practices every day, we become more familiar with our awareness, with this natural state of mind. If we only do it every once in a while, every time it's a bit more work to get there. And then for informal practice, so that's when we take our practice off the cushion or chair and just in everyday life, see if you can pick something you do every day, a few times a day. It could be something like washing your hands, turning on lights, going through doorways. Decide on this thing, and whenever you do that, take a moment to just let go, just like we did in this practice. Let go of all effort, let go of analyzing your experience, and open up into that spacious quality of mind just for a few seconds. Don't even have to stop what you're doing. So whatever thing you pick, you can decide at the beginning of the day, okay, every time I wash my hands, I am going to rest into open awareness just for 10 seconds or so. And the great thing about this kind of practice is you're not adding anything to your day. We're just doing practice during stuff we're already doing. And when we have those frequent moments throughout the day, that's when we start to link our practice together, and we can start to access this quality of mind in more and more complicated situations as we walk, as we talk, when we don't feel so great emotionally. So those are my suggestions for the week ahead. I hope you're all doing well. I hope I get to see you in person soon. Thank you for joining me tonight. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Have a great night.